So today it is my pleasure, first of all, to welcome all of you, and very much my pleasure to welcome Katherine. And this is the second time you have been interviewed. The first time, nobody recorded it. So now we are recording for posterity. Katherine, I think you are the oldest person here at Nazareth House. When were you born?
1915.
On February 10th,
10th.
1915. And you were a farm girl.
Yes, we had a big farm.
In Saskatchewan.
Right.
Good. And how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had 4 brothers, and there are 4 boys and 4 girls. 8.
4 boys and 4 girls. 8 altogether.
2 of the boys died when they were young. One was a baby and one was 11 years old.
And you and Marie outlived all of them. And now you've got another year to go to outlive Marie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're going strong.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. All right. What was life like down on the farm in Saskatchewan?
Regular living, school, and all the rest of it. School and some
You
work.
went to school? Did you have to walk to school?
No, we had our own pony and buggy.
You had your own pony and buggy?
Because the horse we had was not a working horse.
Oh.
It's a racehorse.
Oh, I see.
So
what did you raise on the farm? You had a pony, you had a horse?
Oh, we had everything. Pigs and cows and calves and chickens and geese. We never had many turkeys. They always seemed to die on us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with the turkeys, but
So you had roast goose instead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of vegetables in the summertime.
Vegetables in the summertime. And what was the main crop that your family raised?
It was wheat at that time and oats.
Wheat and oats. Okay. And along came the Depression.
Yes, just as I was getting out of school, grade school, and then I was supposed to be going into town to the high school, and then the Depression started, and they had only one high school there, and it was filled with their own people that go there all the time, so we couldn't go there. And some of our schools in the country closed up, and they had to just transport the people, some of them, into different schools.
So, did you ever get to high school?
Well, she taught this, went to the regular school after that, and she taught 9 and 10 a bit, but I don't think it was that much. I don't think it was the real thing, really. My brother took all his high school in correspondence.
Oh, really?
That was hard, though, because they had to send it back and forth.
And you also had to move, or your family decided to move.
Well, they sold the place later on, but we left when the Depression came. I was there for about a year, and the dust storms and all. But then I went to Regina, and it wasn't much going on there, but I stayed almost a year. And then we went to Toronto. A friend of ours was going to be a nun, and the headquarters was in Toronto, so the sisters were sending her to Toronto. So Marie went with her. They had shared the same room and everything. And the sisters met them, and she stayed with the sisters. And they didn't charge you anything at the time. They charged you later, but at the time you could live there, and it was free for you until you got a job. And they helped you get a job. So that was good. And then when you had the job, you could stay there, but we generally moved out after that. They had other girls coming.
So what kind of a job did you get?
When I first went to Toronto, I was a maid in a nice home. And I was there for about a year. And then I decided I was going to go leave, and then I got into waitress work, which I liked. But it was hard with the hours because sometimes you had to work 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, the restaurants were open. But I was there. And then one day we were going, my friend and I were trotting along, and we were going home. We had been to an interview for a job, and we didn't like it, so we said, we'll go back tomorrow and do something else. And we saw this school, office it was, and they advertised comptometers. I don't know if you know what those things are, but anyway. And the school was from 9 till 4 for 6 weeks. And then they says, after you finish the course, we'll try to get you a job. So we signed up that very day. And we started school on Monday, and we went 5 days a week for 6 weeks.
This was, how old were you?
Let's see, that was about 40 when I got into that part. So I would be 35 or so.
1940.
No, it was more than that.
Okay. See, 1940, you would be 25, no?
25. Oh, well, then it was 25.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, and I was there, and I got the job.
You got the
it
job.
with Continental Can.
You got with Continental Can. And that was an office work?
Yes. We used the comptometers.
Oh,
they were hard to use. You know, you'd go with the fingers and push them around. They were different. But we didn't stay at that very long. Then we got into the adding machines.
Ah, okay. So the comptometer was a precursor to the adding machine?
Yes. Only you could do all the things, division and multiplying. You could do it all that on.
Oh, okay. So that held you in good stead, job-wise. And so you went from Continental Can. Eventually, you made your way to Los Angeles, didn't you?
Yes. We got different jobs, but I was working for like an agency there for a while, and she sent me to the oil company. And they took me for a part-time sort of thing. And but after a little while, I got on the whole thing, and I stayed there.
That was still in Toronto?
Yeah, until I came to Toronto. And we had been here for a year. Before that, we came for a vacation one time, and we liked it, so we said, let's go for a year. And we got our papers so that we could work. And we came, and we tended to go through the whole of states, you know, like stop in the different cities and get a little job and keep on going and see the whole thing. But we didn't get that far. We got as far as Los Angeles, and we liked it. We saw, that weather and all those beautiful trees and no crime.
So you discovered paradise and you liked it?
Yes.
Excuse me.
We stayed for a year, then we had to go back to my mother.
Pardon me?
Who was she traveling with?
You were traveling with Marie?
Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two sisters, yeah.
We had our car and we drove. Took a great long vacation in Canada before we came here. We visited everybody, and then we came here and stopped off in Los Angeles. Normandy, we got off at Normandy when the freeway. We said, where should we get up? Where should we get off? So we got off at Normandy.
So that was 1964.
No, that was 1955 to 1956.
That's right. Okay.
1964, we came for good.
You came for good. Okay. See, in 55, the Hollywood Freeway had just been built. It was brand new.
It was a freeway, and it was new to us, of course. That was nice. But we had a good time for that year. We both got a job, and we had the weekends off, and so we took a lot of trips and a lot of sightseeing in the States, you know.
Around the States.
Yeah, It's nice.
Uh-huh. And then when you came to L.A., Marie got a job at Thrifty.
Drugstore, yeah.
Thrifty drugstore.
She was only there. She had taken up that counter course that I had in the meantime, later. And then she got a job there. But they got after she was there about a year, they got the computers in. And they laid off all those people that did this type of work she did. Add those little tickets they got from the stores. And so she was laid off, and she got another job. She got several of them. And the last one she had was with a shoe company. That rich guy that had made the shoes. I forget his name. He had the cheap shoes because they were terrible. I didn't like them at all, but that's where she worked at. And then he sold the place to another company, and then they just picked the older people, not, she just had started. So she retired after that. She never got another job.
Right, she retired.
She was about 62.
62, right.
Yeah, 62.
Meanwhile, you were still working for the oil company, right? Standard Oil.
Yes, one first at the Standard and then Arco.
And Arco. Okay. You also were always active in volunteerism and active with your church.
Yes, with the church a little bit, but not too much with the church. But I went to the hospital for 25 years after I retired. And I worked there 1 day a week.
1 day a week at...
in the same office for the same girl I worked for 25 years.
Which hospital?
St. Vincent's.
St. Vincent's, okay. All right. Now, any good stories that you'd like to tell us about those days?
I don't know. We had so many nice things to do. That first year, we had a lot of little things that we went to different in the cities. And then when I retired in 1980, I was 65. And then we started going on cruises. And with the first cruise we went on, we had 16 people with us. The cruise had more, but we knew 16 people. Yep. And we had a good time.
Good. Where did you go on the cruise?
That regular one, the Caribbeans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
Around the Caribbean.
And then the following year, and that ship we had was kind of old because it wasn't very nice, really. It wasn't. But that was our first one. We were disappointed in it because we said, I thought it would. You see all kinds of pictures and figure it's going to be like that, but it wasn't. Then the next year we had a new ship, and it was the same company, but it was a new ship. And we went to Panama Canal. That was nice. We hit a hurricane on the way back.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, but they didn't tell us it was one. We just knew it was windy and rain and a lot.
And then you read the papers afterwards and found out we were in a hurricane.
They said you were in a hurricane.
Oh my!
We had the whole upstairs, where the pool was. That was all flooded up there.
Oh my!
Nobody could go up there. You had to stay downstairs. And they told us not to go too far anywhere because they never knew, what there was in the next thing. But it was just okay.
And you've always done a lot of walking.
Yes, because I did not like to drive. We had the car, and I had the license, but I didn't like to drive. And so I didn't do no more driving than I had to. And so I took the buses to go to work, and I took the buses when I retired to go on all the card games. And we got into some nice card games.
You enjoyed card games?
Oh, I loved card games. I've always been a good card player because at home we did a lot of it. Right from when we were kids, we started to play kids' games, And then when I got into older, I liked dancing and card games. That's what we had most of us.
And when you were younger, anyway, your entertainment was your brother played the accordion.
Yes, he used to play for the dances we had. We went to different homes. This was just around the Depression time.
Uh-huh.
And we went to different homes once a week for dances, and he played for us.
Uh-huh.
He liked his accordion, and he was a good player for doing that type of playing.
Yeah, good.
And then we also went once a week to play cards with other people, you know. So that was, and Sunday was our.
So what card games did you play?
Euchre, whist, and 7-Up, but mostly whist and euchre.
Oh.
Whist was a bidding game, something like bridge. No, not so deep. You didn't do so much bidding as you do in bridge.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I'll tell you my first bridge game.
What was your first bridge game?
Yes. I was working when we had the lunch hour. These 4 boys were always playing bridge every lunch hour. They ate their meal, you know, while they were playing, and they kept their scores until the end of the week, and then they got their money, whatever they did with the money. And so this one day, this one boy was missing. He says, "How would you like to play bridge?" And I says, "I don't know anything about bridge." "Oh, you'll do all right," he says. So he sat down. They told me I had to have 13 points and had to have this and that, and a few things, and off we went. I had good cards, and I was bidding, and I was winning. And I got a good score for this guy that was missing. So he thanked me for it afterwards. But then I liked that game, so I went home. I asked some of the people we were playing cards with, "Do you want to play bridge?" "Oh, sure." So I gave him the points that I knew, and a little bit here and a little bit there, and we got to play bridge.
Wonderful.
I liked it from the beginning.
Fantastic. And then you came here. You and Marie came at the same time. And that was about, what, 3 years ago?
Oh, you mean Nazareth House?
Nazareth House.
Yes, in 1916 was our first year.
Right.
4 years ago.
Right. So was Nazareth House recommended to you, or did you know about it? Or?
When we first came to that, even that year, we had heard about Nazareth House. But even then, when we first came here, we lived in Culver City, right at the border of Culver City. So we heard a lot about Nazareth House. So we used to go to their card parties, you know, that they have now, and different things, whatever we saw. And I know one time I went to see somebody in there, and I was thought, "Oh, gee, this isn't very nice," you know. It was the old place, but it was nice. But that's it was. So we had no choice, actually. When we decided we're going to come here, we wanted 2 single rooms. And we went to St. John of God, and they had 1 of each. We said, well, that wasn't good because we can't afford 2 rents. And then we went to Nazareth here, and Carol said, when I told her what we wanted, she says, "Well, that's all we have is 2 single rooms, but they're small." So we looked at it and we said, "It's small for what I thought we'd get a bigger one." But then she said, "Well, you can have first choice. As soon as one empties out, somebody leaves, we have first choice." So we said, "Well, that's all right. If it's really that bad, we can move as they go." But she got an opening about a year later on the 2nd floor, the same floor same area where Mary lives now. And she took us up there, and we didn't like them because they were narrow and long, and the furniture wouldn't have looked as good in there. So we didn't take them. She was so disappointed.
Oh, my.
Yeah, she was disappointed. She thought, "Oh, I thought you'd take them."
But you eventually got 2 rooms on the first floor.
No, we're in St. Joseph's place.
Oh, St. Joseph's.
Yeah, we were there in the first place. Yeah, we had the first floor. Each had a room on there.
Yeah. Okay.
Never moved.
Okay. Anybody have some questions for Katherine? Katherine with a K. Sister.
Yes, Catherine, I was wondering, you're mentioning the farm. When you were a child, did you milk cows or anything?
Sister asked if you milked cows when you were on the farm.
Sometimes, yes. In the summertime when the boys were working late and there was always no more work to do. Yes, I started to milk cows.
And along with that question, you mentioned all kinds of animals. Did you have any cats and dogs?
Did you have any cats and dogs?
Just cats and dogs too, that we needed on the farm, but with no pets, no.
Thank you.
So the dogs would...
Oh, the girls were tame and everything, but we
Yeah.
didn't have them in the house and that sort of thing,
Right.
no.
And the cats kept the rodent population down. Yes?
What did you do with the meat, with the fresh cow's meat? What did you do with it?
What did you do with the meat when the animals were slaughtered?
The milk.
Oh, the milk!
Yes.
What did you do with the milk?
Oh, we used our own milk. We used, then what we didn't use, the pigs got. But we used a lot of milk.
But did you separate the milk when you made it from the cow?
We separated the milk, got the cream, had to make butter.
Uh-huh.
What did you say? Did you separate the milk once you milked it, put it into the machine and separated it?
Did you separate the milk? You separated it?
The separator, yeah, we had a separator.
Yeah,
And
did you
he
make butter?
turned the thing around and it separated the milk from, gave the skim milk and the cream.
Yeah, did you make butter then what was it, the cream?
Did you make butter from the cream?
Oh yes, we had our own butter.
And how did you get rid of that? Was it sold?
Did you sell the butter?
No, we have used it,
You used it.
most of it, yeah. We didn't have
You had a big family, so you probably
yeah,
used
we
a lot
needed
of those things.
butter.
Yeah.
We did a lot of baking. Everything's done with butter.
Uh-huh.
Did
Yeah.
you use all the butter back in the farm again? You didn't sell any of it?
You didn't sell any of the butter?
No.
That was amazing.
We
Yeah.
just made enough. We had enough cream. We had to save the cream that when we wanted cream.
Right.
Ice cream was very, of course, we only could make it in the winter, but that was a treat because in the winter we didn't have that many eggs and butter or cream.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
System of farming.
making ice cream was a treat.
Uh-huh.
Your system of farming was a little bit different to European farming then. Because in Europe they sold the butter.
Well, perhaps so, but you really didn't have too many cows, did you?
We had them, but they didn't all milk.
Uh-huh.
They were there. Some of them didn't have. We didn't
You
milk
didn't
them
get
all. Yeah.
milk from all of them. Okay.
Which is the head.
Any other questions?
Pardon me?
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
Well, Katherine, we got through
We got it.
104 years in 25 minutes.
Good. Good.
All right. So, do you have any parting words for your friends here at Nazareth House? Anything that you would like to say to us?
Well, when they reach the age to come into our Nazareth, come, because it's a nice place to live.
Okay.
It really is. It's one of the
you're-
nicest I've seen. St.
Good.
John of God is nice too, but there you have to, if you're in the old part, you have to be outside, go outside to go to the chapel.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over.
Actually, my parents were at St. John of God
Were they?
for about 2 years.
Oh.
But,
I've
That
had a
was
lot of
back in the
friends there,
1990s.
so I visited people a lot
Mm.
in there. Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you very much, Katherine.
Welcome.
And I'm glad we were able to
Do it.
have this interview. It seems like you lived a very kind of ordinary but very fulfilling life.
Yeah. Yeah, we
And-
did a lot of things, a lot of trips.
And
We
you
took
and
a lot of
you and
trips.
Marie were a happy
Yeah,
pair.
we lived together from the time we left home until we separated here in Nazareth.
Uh-huh. Good. Well, then God bless you, and God bless you all.
Thank you.